supposed to do 2.5 miles. I did a 5K just to see how fast I could beat my old record. I think I beat it by like 5 minutes. Just fantastic. But as I was running, it occurred to me that whatever direction we're going, we are consciously or subconsciously moving away from one thing and into another thing. And for some of us, that might mean like moving away from being single to being married, moving away from, one house to the next house, from one job to the next job. But if we apply it to a spiritual understanding on a spiritual level, are you moving toward or away from God? And before you get all like, oh, Curtis, well, I'm not a believer, this, that, next thing. Well, I hate to break it to you, but you believe it or not, if you're not moving towards God, you're moving away from Him. There's only two ways to go. And I want to encourage you guys that moving towards God kind of feels like trying to run a 5K. You press and you press and you press, and the finish line's still so far off. And you press and you press and you press, and you start to get uncomfortable. You start to experience fatigue. You start to go through things that you don't want to go through. Start being very uncomfortable where you are, and that's a big simile to being faithful, pursuing a life of faith and a journey with God. But I want to encourage you that though it feels uncomfortable at first, maybe you're new to it, like I was to this running thing a couple months ago. Maybe you're well established, but you're fatigued because you've been chasing this finish line for so long and it just doesn't seem like it's getting any closer. Or maybe you're seeing other people who aren't necessarily walking as close to God as you are, and they're receiving all these blessings. I want you to understand something. So the spiritual principles and spiritual laws of the kingdom, they don't what's the word I'm looking for? They don't make the choice of when they're fulfilled. They are fulfilled. That means that if someone who might not be walking as upright as you are, or just plain walking in wickedness, if they're still fulfilling the requirements of that spiritual law, they're going to receive the gifts. Now, they're not going to receive the blessings of heaven, but they're going to receive the gifts of that. That's why you see so many wicked YouTubers out here, making millions and billions of dollars while promoting profanity and, pushing their drug supplements and whatever else on the internet. That's why they're still doing it, because they're giving and sowing and reaping according to spiritual law. They might not be living according to spiritual understanding, so they're not receiving the full blessing of what it has for them, but they're still going to receive the reward of walking in spiritual well-being, even though they might not realize it, or they're just being wicked and just doing it to maintain. But I want to encourage anyone who's going through it, because I'm going through the same thing. I see so many people around me, not all unrighteous, not all wicked, but I've been pressing and persevering for some years now, and I'm seeing all these people receive blessings. And in that moment, you have an opportunity to either rejoice with them, or become bitter and burdened by what you're perceiving as defeat or lack. But I'm here to encourage you guys. Whether you've just started on your journey, whether you're just fatigued from just walking and you're barely getting by every single day, I am encouraging you all to keep going. Continue persevering, continue pressing forward, continue standing, on the principles that you know to be true, and watch how God works in your life. Rejoice, and take joy in those who are blessed. Don't downplay them. Don't negative talk. Don't say like, well, they don't deserve that because they're not, as righteous as I think they should be. When the word says, that a man is not, proofed by his works. It's his faith that gets him to the end game. So I'm encouraging you, if you just started, continue pressing in. And if you're fatigued and you're still in that journey and you're in the middle of it and you're just like, oh my gosh, I can't go any farther. I'm going to encourage you to just keep pushing forward. Keep pressing forward. Set a point in your life and pursue after that. Pursue after the things of God. Pursue after, the blessings of the Lord. And watch him work in your life. Stop worrying about what he's doing around you. Don't be distracted by the world around you. Don't be like Peter. Walking on the water in the full manifestation of glory. In all power. Jesus right in front of him. It's just right there. A few more feet and he would have got there. Instead, he let the things of the world distract him to the left and to the right. And it caused him to start sinking. Don't allow the things of the world, however you perceive them, to cause you to fall to the left or to the right. But continue pursuing after the only thing that matters in this world. And that's Jesus. If you live your entire life in poverty, rejoice. If you live your entire life in riches, rejoice. If you've only been walking with God for a few years, rejoice. Don't allow anything to take that joy away from you. Don't allow anything to take that relationship away from you. But continue to press in, continue to press on, and you will receive the manifestation of his presence, the full promise of his kingdom, and the glory of the eternity which he went before you to prepare in the kingdom of his Father's house. Praise God. God bless. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Love you all.